and welcome to the FPL Gameweek 2 press conference stream with me, Holly Shand. It's set to be a big one. We've got 10 Premier League conferences coming up in the next hour and a half, 2 hours. Quite a lot of important news that we need from Spurs, because we had, first of all, Porro went off injured on Monday. He has been spotted in training, so fingers crossed he's going to be okay. But we've also seen reports coming out overnight that Solanke could have sustained a little bit of an issue, so we're going to be looking out really closely for the Spurs press conference. So let's have a look at the press conference times with all the information on your screen that we know already. So we've got Pep Guardiola, Manchester City coming up at 12:30. Of course, they've just re-signed Gundogan, so it'll be good to hear from him. Then at 1 o'clock, we've got Chelsea, Wolves and Spurs. So Spurs, Ange Postecoglou, Porro spotted in training on Thursday. You can see on screen Solanke didn't train yesterday, concerns that he is injured. So that's the big one to keep an eye on. And then at 1:30, I'm not quite sure whether the Bournemouth presser is 1 or 1:30. I've seen conflicting reports. But we'll also hear from Brentford, Crystal Palace, Fulham, West Ham, and then finally rounding off with Aston Villa. As always, they come at 2 o'clock. So if you are in here, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel as well. I said we'll go for 100 likes initially. There's nearly 400 of you watching, so hopefully we can smash that. We got close to 1,000 likes last week, which was phenomenal. If you are here, make sure that you are also subscribed to the channel and let me know in the chat. Well, come say hello first of all. I'll jump to the chat shortly. So say hello in the chat. Let me know that you are here, but also let me know what injury news you need, because obviously Porro, Solanke are the big ones, but what else do you need to know for today? I'll go through shortly all the updates that we've had already. I'm just making sure that I've not missed anything. It looks like Kwanzaa, there was news that he had a bit of an issue. He's not been involved in training today. So that's an interesting one as well. So there's lots going on already. I can tell it's going to be a busy one, and the Solanke news is going to hinge on the success or not of this one. There's quite a lot of you here early. So if I jump across to the chat, JR Jelly is in, David Eddy is in, as is Light Rays, Alex, Scott. Just trying to pick out all the channel members here. FPL Spudjack is in and modding, new mod to the squad. Looking for Solanke news. VJ is in and modding. Simon's here. The other Simon is here from a breezy West London. There was a lot of weather chat in the chat today. VJ says like, share, subscribe to Holly's award-winning channel. Mike is in from Townsville. Tiggy says best stream of the week, like and subscribe. FPL uproar as well. So good to see lots of you in the chat. Is that my mic that's an issue? I was opening and closing OBS earlier. It's all good now. Was it the intro screen that it wasn't working on? Is it this? Can you hear me again now or not? There's definitely something going wrong with OBS. That's why I was a little bit late. I had to shut everything and open everything again. So just let me know if everything is working okay. Right. The trouble is, right. Hopefully you can hear me on this screen. I think it's the intro screen where the mic's gone a bit dodgy. So I'll check that. I don't want to play with it now because every time I tried to fix it before I went live, it crashed. And we don't want that. Let me know again here whether I sound okay. I think, again, from what I'm seeing on my screen, it looks okay. So I think as long as I stay off the intro screen, we will be fine and you will be able to hear me. I'm just catching up actually on the tweet deck because while I've been setting up, I haven't kept abreast of what's going on. Right, it sounds like everyone's happy with the audio, so that's good. That's the main thing. Yeah, so the big news was this morning is that Gundogan, well, it's afternoon now, that Gundogan has re-signed for City. I'm just having a check that nothing else has dropped because obviously we've got another week until the transfer window shuts as well. So there's all sorts of information coming through today that's going to be relevant. We just have to hope that, you know, nothing throws off our FPL. A super chat in for Simon, who's now got a lovely different member badge next to his name. A whole year on Team Shand. I'll be back later. What a way to announce 12 months. In other news, we need a Team Shand captain pick meetup. We do. More on that to follow. I'll see what I can do. Potentially in the next few weeks, I might have a trip to London planned, Simon. So if that's the case, then I'll let you know. I'm just trying to think where all the other captain picks are located. I think you're the only one in London. So it could just be the two of us. But that's not overly a problem. If it's just the two of us, that's fine. If more join us at the captain pick level, obviously you can do. Well, just join as a channel member is the message really. 50% off. So the levels have changed a little bit this season. So the cheapest level is now $1.99 a month, and then the one that the captain pick one is $8.99 a month. So the prices have gone down. Is the main message there. So what I want to look at first of all then is all the information from the press conferences that we've got so far. So if I jump across to this screen. So these are everything that I've got bookmarked so far today. Probably need to give it a little refresh because I have added a few things in recently. I am keeping an eye out for Pep's presser as well, so we can of course jump across to there when that happens. But the main piece of information from this morning was from Liverpool, where Kwanzaa, which seems quite convenient, was not involved in training. The defender is an injury doubt for Sunday. On Tuesday, picked up a bit of an injury, couldn't train Wednesday, so let's see today. I feel like this extra message from Paul Gorst could potentially be one from today, that he's not trained today. Interesting news from Newcastle, where it looks like Trippier could be off in the window, which should make Livramento more nailed. Matt Targett, though, returning to the matchday squad. So there is competition for places in those fullback spots for Newcastle. So don't be thinking Livramento is now the shoe-in. Some news as well in terms of personnel at Newcastle. Guimaraes is the new captain. Lascelles has been promoted to club captain. He's going to oversee the other captains. Trippier and Burns still in the leadership group. So reading between the lines, it sounds like Trippier's probably on his way. I can get rid of that one now. This is the news that broke overnight then, that Dominic Solanke did not train on Thursday. Concerns over the player sustaining an injury, which is going to be huge. Oh, Simon's just gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, Simon. And we've also, so say thank you to Simon if you got one. FPL Down Under's got one. Lost Aussie Abroad, Medic, Vishal and Enrico. And Sylvan has also just joined us at the budget pick level. Thank you so much for the support. Yeah, so this is the interesting one with Solanke. Is he going to be fit? Because it looks like Spurs have got the fixture of the weekend. I'll explain more on that shortly. Chelsea played last night in Europa Conference League qualifying 1-2-0. Not a convincing performance from them though.
and Palmer was holding his thigh and limped off down the tunnel. Maresca said he was okay. We are going to hear from Maresca at 1 o'clock. But also, interestingly, what we heard there was to do with Palmer. I saw a clip on Sky Sports News this morning where a journalist said, "Are you all right, Cole?" And he just kind of like nodded and went, "Yeah." So I'm not overly convinced. So an important update. But this is the key one from Everton. Sean Dyche admits the squad is stretched. They've only got 14 recognised players. Branthwaite a bit away. Tarkowski now on the injury list as well. Ashley Young suspended. So yeah, big loss there. Lindelof has a problem with his toe at United. Malessi a long-term absentee. Højlund and Shaw should be back after the break, which is news if you bought Mazwari, because if Shaw's back, Dalot could move to right back. Mazwari could lose his place. We do not know at the moment. Moreno joined Nottingham Forest, who need fullbacks after the Danilo injury, so that's one to keep an eye on. Ipswich Muric missed out in game week 1. Still a late call to be made ahead of the Man City game. This was Porro in training for, I think that's him at the back of that queue there. So that was good news. Got a super chat in from True Fandela. Hi Holly, love for Bobby. Any news on Porro? It's coming up at 1 o'clock, so keep watching. You've got probably about 30 minutes to wait on that one. Leicester have got the same players available as they had last time. Yeah, and then a bit of transfer news. Trippier wanting to leave Newcastle is one of them. Savino, we'll hear from Pep very soon on that one. Interesting comment from Maresca on the amount of players he's working with. Burge has signed for Fulham. News from Brighton. Ferguson, Lamptey and Estupinan are all training back after the break. Barco gone to Seville, which is a bit of a disaster. Minter available for Brighton. A bit of a lack of understanding between the officials. Brozier is at Ipswich. Forest still trying to sign Nketiah. That hasn't gone through yet. So that was all the news. So let's go over to the tweet deck now then, because Pep is in for his press conference. Most of the early talk, understandably, is to do with the availability of Gundogan. A potential... I think this is just a predicted lineup for West Ham, so that's not of too much importance. Semedo playing for the under-21s today for Wolves, so remains to be seen when he will be back. Yeah, lots of chat on Gundogan at the moment from the City press conference, but I should imagine that there will be more news coming in soon as well. Enrico says Mazwari won't lose his spot. Yeah, let's hope so. So who is going to lose out then? If Shaw, Dalot and Mazwari are all fit, who will lose their spot? Is it Shaw that just doesn't get a look in? We don't know. Super thanks in from VJ. Thank you very much for your constant support. And I can see your comments now and I can reply to you. I don't know what you did, VJ, to get it to work, but, you know, I'm really pleased that I can now interact with you on the comments to videos and bits like that. So thank you. If you did anything, let me know what you did. While we're waiting for Pep to give us an update on key players, then make sure that you've liked the stream. We're not even at 150 likes yet, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. It's been a good few weeks for new subscribers on the channel, hoping to hit 34,000 soon. I hit 33,333 yesterday, which was a nice one. I wonder if Gundogan will be straight in. No captain has been chosen yet. Interesting. It was De Bruyne, wasn't it? That wore the armband against Chelsea, if I'm not mistaken. Tony's asking for Porro news. It's coming up at 1:30, Tony. Enrico said, I swapped Bowen for Bernardo. Should be a great option with 1 million in the bank. Yeah, I can see why a lot of managers are buying City players this week. I mean, I look at my own team and I think, where is my team gone? There it is. I think have I got enough City? I've got to. I think it'll have to do at this point. I've already made my transfer this week, so. Stephen says, do you think Gundogan will impact the minutes of Foden? No, I don't think so. Gundogan's very much that next level back, isn't he? It tends to be a 4-3-3 from City, and Gundogan will be in the midfield three, whereas we don't expect to see Foden in that forward three, you would imagine. Ella Razor says, whose place will Gundogan take? I think it'll be, when everyone's available, I think it'll be Rodri, De Bruyne, Gundogan in the midfield three. And then in the forward three, Haaland, Bernardo, Foden. Oh, this is an interesting quote then. Guardiola on Gundogan already knowing the playing style. If tomorrow he has to play, okay, he knows everything. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Certainly, I think it makes City better. I'm interested to hear whether Rodri's available for this game, because this is the thing. I have put a poll up, by the way, in terms of your captain plans, and the options are you going to captain Haaland, triple captain Haaland, or captain someone else because you don't own Haaland? Savino feels better, but I don't think he feels completely top. A decision will be taken closer to kick-off, so I think that means that it looks unlikely that Savino will start for City. Enrico, my triple captain is active on Haaland. This is the one chance. Beard is looking for Solanke news. The presser is at 1 o'clock, so in 20 minutes' time in the UK, we'll get that important update on Solanke and Porro as well. I think a lot of our decision making ahead of the deadline is now going to hinge on Postecoglou's press conference. So, yeah, I don't think that's a bad update on Savino. I don't know if many people really went there, did they? Darius is already looking to move on Chris Wood. I think you need to give him the Southampton game. I don't think Nketiah is going to be signing and starting before the weekend now. Eggbomb thinking on triple captain move. For me, if it's Rodri out weakens the side. But we don't know yet. We're still waiting for Pep to give us that information. Vishal doesn't own Haaland. Doubting who should I captain, Salah or Jota or De Bruyne? Yeah, I'd go Salah. I think Salah's a really good option this week. Brentford at home. I believe he scored 5 goals in 5 games. Rodri not training with the group yet. Unlikely to feature against Ipswich. He doesn't think there will be another new signing, but some things might change. Yeah, so that's it. Rodri is out of the game against Ipswich. For me, means that I'm not really looking at using the triple captain chip. You've got to remember last season, Rodri missed 3 games for City, and all 3 of those games City lost. Now, I'm not saying that Ipswich are going to beat them. I'm not saying that Haaland isn't going to do well in this game. I think the advantage of Haaland triple captain this week is that he's got 3 midweeks either side, which won't be the case later on in the season. But the negative is that City are a worse team in general without Rodri in it. So while City aren't at 100%. Remember, Foden and De Bruyne are still working their way back in. I think there's enough against the triple captain. If you think it's a good idea, you've got a good inkling, then, you know, feel free to go for it, because it's not a bad decision to use a triple captain this week. Haaland, free midweek either side, said he's never felt better, already got off the mark this season. We don't know what's going to go on with chips this season. We've got the mystery chip. We're going to have less double game weeks, so it may be that we kind of run out of time to have an attractive week to play the triple captain. So I think there's enough going for triple captain Haaland, but there's enough question marks for me, which means that I'm personally not going to go for it. Don Lero says Haaland's going to score a hat-trick. Yeah, he's had 6 league hat-tricks at home, in home games in the last 2 seasons. Enrico says I'm stressing him out. Why am I stressing you out? I don't feel stressed. I feel quite chilled. So why are you feeling stressed? Shiraz says, imagine Haaland score 5 goals like he did against Luton in the FA Cup, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we could easily see a performance like that from him. Yeah, so Rodri and Savino are the injury updates from Pep. I don't know whether we're going to get much more from him that's going to be useful from an FPL perspective. FPL Spudjack says triple captain all and for me this week. Yeah, so at the moment on the poll, 61% have gone Haaland, 18% triple captain, 21% in the other category because they don't own Haaland. Robbie says Ipswich will hold City to a draw. Listen, Ipswich didn't look bad in the first half against Liverpool. They controlled the game, but I guess it's a lot different going to the Etihad. But then they will sit back and defend more. So I do think it's important for City to get an early goal in the game. Let's put it that way. They need an early goal in the game. But yeah, plenty of positives there. Right, I don't know if we're going to get anything else of too much use from Pep today. I'll keep an eye on it, but I think we can probably move across to looking at different things. There's nearly 1,000 of you watching, which is incredible. So if you are here and you're enjoying the stream, I'm here every week on a Friday at this time going through the press conferences. Make sure you've hit the like button and subscribe to the channel as well. Moving back to the press conference times then, and 1 o'clock is the key window because we are waiting for an update from Ange Postecoglou on Pedro Porro, who has been spotted in training this week after limping off late in the game against Leicester. And Solanke, there's news that's dropped overnight that he didn't train on Thursday, and there are growing concerns that he's picked up an injury. So let me know in the chat if you own Solanke, because I think this is going to be one that could really make or break our game weeks. The trouble is, it looks like such a good fixture because Everton have got so many players out. They've only got 14 first team players available. So what are we thinking? Have you got Solanke? And have you got a contingency plan if we get bad news? I don't think I really have. I've already used my transfer. I've got Harwood, Bellis and Winks. I've got Barco, so I've got Harwood, Bellis and Winks as my first and second subs. I think I'd have to roll with it if he got ruled out. I really do. Yeah, there's some managers. Sorry, I've completely talked over that. I will learn. There are a lot of managers who have got money in the bank that could be well set up for this week. But if you had $500,000 in the bank, you may be thinking, oh, if Solanke's out, I could just do Solanke to Havertz. But Havertz went up in price last night, which makes things a lot more difficult. I've got nothing in the bank. I've already used my transfer for this week, So I think if Solanke's out, I need to order this bench actually, because Barco is gone and useless for me now. Could I do it like that? Let me have a look actually at the predicted points on Fantasy Football Hub. My team does look a little bit weird on the hub because I made my transfer, but I didn't save my plan on the hub before it went on, which is why it looks a bit weird. You can get your recommended transfers, by the way, for your team on Fantasy Football Hub as a hub member with 50% off, and the offer to win your league or your money back is on for the rest of the month. So there's still time to take advantage. So yeah, the suggestion would be Solanke to Muniz if Solanke was out. But I just don't know. I really like Solanke long term, so if we had a small issue but it was back soon, I think I'd just ride it out with my bench. I don't mind Muniz as an option, but I've got Smith Rowe and I haven't doubled up on him. People joining saying what's going on with Solanke. He didn't train yesterday. There are concerns that he's injured. The press conference from Postecoglou is in 12 minutes time. So hopefully I'll be able to provide you guys with a solid update there. But yeah, this is why we're panicking as Solanke owners. I mean, he's one of the most owned players in the game. So I don't really know what I'll do. I think I'll probably just have to ride it out with my bench. He's in 29% of teams. That fixture looks so tasty though. I hope, like, it might be incorrect news. He may just not have needed to train yesterday for whatever reason. If we look at predicted points for forwards in the next 4 game weeks, I mean, it would have been perfect if you could have gone to Havertz, but he's gone up in price to 8.1. So even if you had 0.5 in the bank, you're going to struggle to get to Havertz now in one move. There will be some managers that could get there in 2 moves, but it would take a -4, and then you think, with the options on your bench, is it worth it? Muniz is the next pick, but having Muniz and Smith Rowe, let me know what you think in the chat. Muniz and Smith Rowe feels a bit much. Then you've got Mateta now. I'm sure I saw a transfer rumour for Mateta saying something about he wanted Champions League football. Then you've got Jackson, who I don't think is going to get minutes. João Pedro, he's not my favourite Brighton player. Fixtures look a little bit tough, but three home games in the next 4. Wissa, awful fixtures. There's not that much choice in this forward category, which is why I think I probably just have to hold. Chris Wood again, if they're signing Nketiah, then that again is a concern. So it's a bit of a mess really. So really we need good news on Solanke. We should get, normally Spurs post some sort of video on their Twitter pretty quickly, and then you get a bit more information coming up further. There's like a club video posted, and then we get further information. So we'll see what happens at 1 o'clock. We've got 10 minutes to sweat on that one. I just don't know. But if you want to get all these predictions for players, take advantage of that 50% off on Fantasy Football Hub, because it's not going to be around forever. Limited time only. There's over 1,000 of you in. That is phenomenal. We're almost at 250 likes as well. There'll be lots of you watching that think you're subscribed and you're not subscribed. So if you aren't subscribed, well, first of all, check. And if you aren't subscribed, subscribe now, because I'm here every Friday taking you through the managers' press conferences. It's my favourite kind of piece of content that I do on YouTube all week. So I really appreciate anyone that, you know, is joining and watching along and getting involved. I've got the tweet deck open on my screen for this press conference though, but in the meantime, I am going to answer some of your questions. So if you've got dilemmas, get them in the chat. Birdie says over 1k viewers. Thank you so much for joining as well. Ryan says, do you think Rico Lewis plays this game week? That is the $1 million question, because he's a great option at 4.5 million. What I was going to look at is the predicted lineups on Fantasy Football Hub as well. This is another, if I can find it, another feature that you can get as a member. See if we've got anything in for Man City yet. No, not yet. I don't know. I don't know with Lewis. I think because I'm a Vardiol owner, I'm hoping that Rico Lewis doesn't start. I can understand why people are wanting to take the punt with Lewis, because when he plays, he's high. But Walker could be back at any point, even as soon as this week. So, personally, I think it's too risky to go Lewis, especially if you've not got a deep bench. Oh, thank you, Lost Aussie. He says, subscribe. Holly's the best for the press releases. Dean's asking who to play, Hall in defence or Wood as 3 up front. I think you've got to play Chris Wood this week. Get that one more week out of him and see where you get. Del Nero, do you think we will be able to use chips in a season with fewer double game weeks? Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to tell. Like, the free hit can be used in a blank or a double, like, optimally. Probably a double is more optimal than a blank, but you've got the choice there. The mystery chip, we don't know what it is, how it's going to work, when's going to be the best time to use it. So that makes it really difficult to describe. One thing that I did want to just highlight while I see it, this is on the tweet deck. City Extra just posted this. This is the end of the open section of Pep Guardiola's pre-Ipswich press conference. More from 10:30 tonight. All of the press conferences contain embargoed sections which get released later in the day. So when you've got a Saturday deadline, you definitely need to wait for the 10:30 embargoed quotes as a minimum, if you can, on a Friday before making transfers, ideally into the Saturday as well. You can join me, by the way, tomorrow for the hang on, that's the wrong thing, for the deadline stream. I thought I had a picture of the deadline stream. Maybe it's gone missing. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow for the deadline stream. So if you make sure you're subscribed and hit the notify button, then it will let you know when I go live tomorrow. Planning on going live at about 9:45. It's about an hour and a quarter before the deadline tomorrow. But in that stream, I'll of course bring all the breaking team news. Deadline is at 11 a.m. UK time. Akshat is in. Oh, good to see you, Akshat. He said, what did I miss? Not a lot yet. Rodri is out probably for City against Ipswich. Gundogan has signed. Savino could make it. We will see. Classic Pep after training. But the big news that we're waiting for, which should be coming up fairly soon, is the news from Postecoglou, because we know that Porro trained yesterday. We need to know if he's available for Spurs. We've also seen news that Solanke didn't train yesterday, potentially got an issue. So that is another one that we need to monitor to see when he's going to be back available for us. So just keep an eye on that one as well. We had a super chat in from, lost it now. Where's it gone? T1BB, their first super chat. Thank you. Do I triple captain Haaland? Pros and cons. Very good question. I think you can, if you can see in the poll, 18% are going with it. I have it already, but I will go through it again. If we look at predicted points for all players this week, Haaland's predicted to score, I think it's 8.7. Hang on, I may need to give this a refresh. so that it likes me. 8.7 predicted points. His next best prediction after that is in game week 9, 8.4 predicted points. The pros, he's had a free midweek before this, he's got a free midweek after this. He said he's never felt better, so you would imagine he's fully fit, raring to go against the promoted team. We don't really know how bad Ipswich defence is, though, at the moment. Rodri is out for City, which weakens their entire side. De Bruyne and Foden are definitely still getting back up to speed after busy summers. Blank and double game weeks, we know there's going to be less this season, potentially less opportunities to play in a double game week. We don't know what the mystery chip is yet. We're going to have to wait to find out. So I want more information, and I want to see Rodri fit, triple captain Haaland. But I do think it's a good option. So if you're sitting here thinking, I really want to do it, then go for it, because I think it is a good opportunity. I'm just taking the gamble that there's a better opportunity down the line, because there's just a few too many question marks for me. But 6 hat-tricks for Haaland in the Premier League. All of those have come in home games. In theory, it is a very good option to use the triple captainship this week. We've made it up to 300 likes, which is phenomenal. We've also had a member comment in from Akshat, who is modding on the stream as well. He says, triple captain Haaland for me. Gotta agree. I think it is a good option. Ryan, do you think Henderson becomes a bad pick because the Palace defence has been weakened with Gay and Anderson gone? Gay hasn't gone, has he? Unless I've missed it. Gay hasn't gone. Do I think that the Palace defence is weakened with Anderson gone? Yes. Am I concerned about the number of players leaving Palace? Yes. So there are question marks there for sure. I've not seen anything that confirms that Gay is leaving. I know there's rumours that he's wanting to leave, but it's not happened yet. There's nothing firm that's come today. So, let's see. We don't know yet. The Wolves press conference is about to start. As a reminder, so we've got Chelsea, Spurs and Wolves all up at 1 o'clock, potentially Bournemouth as well. And the big update we need is from Spurs and Postecoglou on Porro and Solanke. Let's stick then with the press conferences now then. Wolves expected to make signings in the window. O'Shea and Ramsdale. I won't discuss any player that's not already signed for Wolves. It's a line from Gary O'Neill. Bournemouth news conference is live on YouTube. Oh, FPL Chai is in. He says, slowly waiting for Solanke news. Yeah, me too. I hope it's positive. I think this is the point where we need to just strap in, cross our fingers, and hope that we've got good news. What I'm going to hopefully do is attempt to play the news from Spurs, because there should be a video that drops. This is what tends to happen. Maresca confirms the current plan is to use Robert Sanchez as number 1 and play Jorgensen in the domestic cups. So this is, I think Chelsea have got about 8 goalkeepers registered at the moment. So good to have some clarity. I don't know how long Sanchez can keep his spot though, because he hasn't looked great so far, I'll be honest. This is the plan in a minute, but the plan can change. I have said many times, I judge the players on the level they are. I mean, he's got options, hasn't he? Yeah, so we've got Wolves, Chelsea, Bournemouth and Spurs press conferences going on now. So we're keeping our eyes peeled. Any news that drops on Solanke, do not worry, I'm going to have it here first. I'm across everything. I've got so many tabs open that we're definitely not going to miss anything, put it that way. Maresca confirms he would like to sign another forward before the window closes. I mean, it's just mental. Let me know in the chat what you think about Chelsea in this window, because I think it's just ridiculous. He's got so many options. Super thanks in from VJ. Thank you, VJ. Yeah, FPL Spudjack reminds us that we're waiting for Porro news and Solanke news. FPL Chai 1:30 now, I think. Is that the Spurs presser? Maybe it is 1:30. It definitely said 1 o'clock this morning. We may get, like I said, the video from Spurs first and then the press conference news. It normally is 1 o'clock every week, though. Let me know where you've seen that, Chai. I mean, I had Sky Sports on earlier and they definitely said 1 o'clock, but we know things are very fluid with Premier League managers. I haven't seen any evidence, to be fair, that the Spurs press is starting. Oh no, I definitely saw something. Don't know. We'll see. The fan on my PC is going, which is a concern as well. I'm just going to have a look what's going on the Spurs website, see if that gives us any information on exactly when this presser is. I mean, I don't know if you can see this, guys. I've just popped onto the Spurs website. Have I even got the tweet deck on your screen? I don't think I have I? Sort me out, guys. I've just gone on to the Spurs website and it says Dom looks ahead to Everton clash. So maybe that's good news. An opportunity to put things right. Oh, this was posted yesterday. So you would think that was positive, wouldn't you? But yeah, I can't see any update on there of when the presser is. I don't know if FPL tried. Oh, FPL Spud said it's gone to 1:30. If it's 1:30, it's 1:30. I promise that I haven't just told you a time, guys, to string you along now. If you join me most weeks, you'll know that these managers' press conference times are very fluid and they do chop and change a bit. But we do have at the moment the Chelsea presser and the Bournemouth presser and the Wolves presser going on. Coming out of Bournemouth via Ben Dinnery, Van Lissen has trained well this week and the Brazilian will be involved on Sunday. Technically he is sharp, so he missed the first game. I don't know if they didn't get him registered in time. I don't believe that he travelled for that one, but it'd be good to have him in. I mean, I've got Nick Pope in my squad, so hopefully he doesn't make that fast start. We'll see. Just waiting for all the news to filter through from the Chelsea press conference as well. I believe, guys, today we've set a record for the number of viewers on screen on the stream. We've got 1,400 of you, which is definitely a channel record. While you're here, hit that like button if you haven't done so already. What are we up to? We're at 350. I think last week we hit 700. So we can definitely keep plugging away. If everyone that's watching now likes the stream, then we'll easily beat last week. Oh, it was 850 last week, so you've got a lot of way to go. But you know, it's phenomenal to have so many of you in. Let me know in the chat if it's the Solanke news that you're waiting on, which might come in 25 minutes now. It's Spurs that have been stringing us along. I promise that it did say 1 o'clock initially. Let me know if you're a Solanke owner as well in the chat. And make sure you like the stream, of course, as well. Yeah, VJ said we had over 800 last week, which is true. Seems to have gone a little quiet on the 1 o'clock presses. I seem to have lost the tab for the live chat somewhere on my desktop. Neil says, can we like the stream twice? It's very kind. I don't know where my live chat's gone. That's the bit that's confusing me at the minute. I don't want to shut all my tabs and lose them all. I've definitely lost the chat, which is annoying. If you all just type in the chat, hopefully I'll find it again. I can see it on screen, so it can't have gone too far, you would think. I'm still getting to great. So I like it because I can highlight, when I find the chat, I can highlight your kind of comments and questions in the chat, which is cool. Oh, I found it, don't worry. This is a new feature for this season, which is why I'm struggling. Yeah, quite a few saying they need Solanke news. Boko, Rohit. Rohit says bench one of Gordon or Smith Rowe. I know Rohit's one of the regulars in here. I want to say Gordon, you know. I think like 80% of his goal involvements came at home last season. Oh, quite a lot of the Dominic Solanke owners in the chat. A few non-Dominic Solanke owners as well, which are just enjoying our pain. Oh, Jar Jar. Sucks Havertz went up in price the same time Solanke went up. Had 0.5 in the bank. I was going to swap him, but now I priced out. That's brutal. FPL down under, another Solanke owner. Yeah, apparently Sky Sports are now saying 130. But please back me up in the chat and say that Sky Sports definitely said 1 o'clock earlier today, because I'm not just leading you on, guys. It is coming, the Spurs presser, but we are going to have to wait another 23 minutes by the looks of it. But stick around though, because they do occasionally release extra tidbits on their socials before the actual press conference happens. I think sometimes they have like a video interview with Postecoglou that goes live first with the club update, and then the press conference happens as well. But certainly what we saw from the Spurs website, which was posted last night, is encouraging. I've only just seen that, but I think that's good. This might give us some information on when the presser exactly is. It's more of a preview. But yeah, I think if this was published at 3:30 yesterday, I think if Solanke had an issue, then that wouldn't have gone live. So I'm hoping, I mean, I need it to be good news looking at my team, but I'm hoping it will be good news. João Felix is available, says Maresca. It is a little bit like Mudryk. We're going to help them to improve and see if they can give us one step forward to reach the kind of level of those players. It seems to be a lot going on. I mean, Chelsea probably need an hour for their press conferences compared to everyone else with the amount that's going on. FPL Harry is in. He says, afternoon, Holly. Good to be back. Congratulations, Harry, on the launch of your podcast as well. It's nice to have a kind of FPL personality doing a more of a football feel podcast than just FPL. It should be a bit refreshing. Sylvan said Pep presser happened already. Yes, it has. Rodri is out. Well, I don't know if he has absolutely ruled him out, but he said we'll see after training today, but he isn't training with the group yet. So reading between the lines, he is out. And the other piece of information we got from Pep's presser is that Savino will train later today, could be assessed, could still be available. So don't worry too much if you're a Savino owner at this point. There is a bit of encouraging. FPL Harry just here for the shout outs, I think, at this point. No, congratulations. This is an interesting one from Will. Double Fulham, Mooney, Smith Rowe. Yeah, I think it could still be an option for me as well. Let's see what happens with that. Yeah, a few were asking what's going on with Solanke. So if I just remind you of the news that we've got already, I probably ought to update this graphic with the fact that the presser is at 1:30 now, apparently, and not 1 o'clock. But we know that Poré limped off after the game against Leicester, but he was spotted in training yesterday, which is encouraging that maybe he will be available. Then we had this news overnight. Well, I think it was late last night. I call it overnight because I was already in bed. Let me find the the news that we got last night. This was posted by Last Word on Spurs. Spurs summer signing Dominic Solanke did not train on Thursday at Hotspur Way amid concerns of the player sustaining an injury. It's very vague, so it could potentially not be an issue. So we'll have to see on that one. Question from Harry as well. Do we have any updates on Aina? Yeah, I think... Let me just check. That came in yesterday. I think it was a bit non-committal. Where is it? Brighton. Man City. Leicester. Is that the one? I don't think he'd ruled him out. Oh yeah, there it is. Ilanga and Aina are hoping to shake off Minor Ox, so it could be available. We just don't know at this stage. Oh, VJ has gifted 5 channel memberships. Thank you, VJ. Some regulars got some of those. We got Igor got one, as did that TPS player, Lewis Robson, B-Ford Bandit, and Cabdi Mutarb. So if you were one of the people that got a free membership from VJ, make sure to thank him. Appreciate the support, VJ, as well. Right, let's move back over to the tweet deck. We're still waiting for a bit more news to come in. The Wolves press conference is still ongoing. No injuries, we're fine. Kuna is fine and available for more minutes. Traore has done more training and is in a better spot. So, yeah, it looks like a clean bill of health from Wolves, which is encouraging. I think that's going to be the main bulk of things in from the early press conference. We've had a comment from Maresca as well on Pedro Neto. Seem to have lost it now. I think it came in from Ben Jacobs. I just feel like all the Chelsea press conferences are going to be really long now. Pedro Neto may not play against Wolves, but João Felix could feature. Pedro played 90 in February, last played 90 minutes in February, played 65 or 60 against Servette. To give him another game on Sunday is probably too early. So if you were one looking to go with him. I mean, how do we feel on Chelsea players? Let me know in the chat, because at the moment, I mean, I've not got any Chelsea players in my team. Be interested to hear from Harry as a Chelsea fan. At the moment, I'm just thinking, not going to bother with Chelsea. I think too many players. There's going to be too much rotation. Palmer potentially with a little issue that's being played down. And Nkunku definitely not up to full match fitness yet either. He seems a way of playing 90 minutes. Are people actually that interested? I think the Neto situation is good for Nkunku in the short term, but they could quite easily play 45 minutes every game. So let me know what you think. Jonathan says, Chelsea in flux, no, not a peace of mind. Sid, swerving Chelsea for the time being. Yeah. That's how I feel. Has anyone got Palmer? Like, what are you thinking if you've got Palmer? Because he didn't look like the Palmer of last season. He wasn't as advanced and central as we saw him last season. Right, here we go. Here's the Solanke update. Dom picked up a knock in the last game. He got through the game, but he flared up the day after. He'll miss the game. Solanke is out, guys. That is the update. Oh, God. Stress. Why is FPL so stressful? Solanke is out of the game. We haven't got a time frame for that yet. What are we thinking? Oh dear. It's so annoying because that fixture looked great on paper. Like with all the injuries. Now we're back to the drawing board. I wonder if he'll give us a time frame. Oh gosh, it's kicking off in the chat. What are we thinking? So it was earlier than 1:30 in the end. Postecoglou picked up a knock in the last game. It's an ankle injury. He copped it early on. Something went across his ankle. It depends on his recovery when he returns. We've got the international break, but it's not serious. Like, does that mean he's out for the out until after the international break? Like, that suggests to me he could be out for a couple of weeks. What are you thinking, guys? I don't know what to think myself. Just a pain, really. He looks like such a good pick as well. Oh, no. I mean, that reads to me like he's going to be out for a little while. What are you thinking? I don't know what to think. Sorry, I'm just updating the title of the stream. That is a pain. I hate FPL. Why do we play this game? I don't know what that means for my team. I'm going to have to think about this. It sounds to me like it could be a couple of weeks. If he's out for 2 games, well, we're going to have to take a hit to get rid of him. But then who do I buy? They've got Moonies. I mean, I could get Moonies. But then I've got Smith Rowe. So it's a knock and it's not serious. More on the Athletic. This isn't going to load for me because even though I write for the Athletic, my account's messed up. Maybe it will. Just so annoying. It's really, really annoying. Why does this have to happen? FPLA. Harry's asking for news on Porro. Do you not own Solanke? I don't know if we've got anything on Porro. For God's sake. Oh. Richarlison is fit. Porro is fine. Benton Kerr will miss the game through concussion protocol. So, Porro fine. Richarlison fit. What was the other one? Bissouma's available. Porro, Richarlison. Bissouma available. Oh, I don't know whether to sell. It's not knowing the time frame is the difficult bit. But if I sell him, I can either go to Moonies or I could take a -8. And -8 in game week 1. I really want a Spurs player for that game as well. I've already used the transfer. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Oh, gosh. So I could sell Solanke for Moonies. That would be a -4. I could then sell Smith Rowe. Oh, Maddison's 7.5. I thought he was 7. Have they upped Maddison's price? I mean, Kulu could start up front. There's Johnson. I don't think he can. I don't know what to do. I could get Mitoma, who I love as a pick. But I'd be taking a -8 for game week 2. And Muniz, to me, is the best replacement. People saying a -8 for Havertz. Yeah, Solanke is out. Not available. That is the news. We haven't got a proper time frame. That's just blown FPL up for me. Even though I knew it could potentially be coming, I was hoping it was fake news. But it's not. There's no time frame on how long it's going to be. Shall we have a look at the quote again? I'm stressing now, guys. I haven't even bookmarked it. I've lost the plot. Oh dear. I think it's just the fact that he mentioned that it's not serious. It's the fact that he mentioned the international break that I don't like. That's the bit that I'm struggling on. Yeah, so this is it. Don picked up a knock in the game, the last game. He got through the game, but he flared up the day after. He'll miss the game tomorrow. It's an ankle injury. It depends on his recovery when he returns. Obviously, we've got the international break, but it's not serious. But that, to me, says that he could miss the next 2 games. People are saying Mateta, but Mateta's been linked with a move away. I don't know how viable it is to go Mateta. Like, if Solanke's out for 1 game, then it's okay. But if he's out for 2, is it too early to wildcard? Oh, Jesus. What is going on? FPL. Mateta's been linked with a move away. He said he wants Champions League football. I'm sure I saw that somewhere. Now I can't see who it was. He wants to go to Villa. That's what I've heard on Mateta. I just don't know at this point. I'm going to have to think about it. Oh, like Havertz would be nice. Like that's the other option. Like I know it's annoying because of the price change. I could sell Saka, get Havertz. That's potentially another option. Again, it's a -8. I was impressed with Havertz though, and then that gives me 8.4 million in the bank. So I could get Maddison. I don't know what to do. People in the chat saying just 4-4-2. What with Harwood Bellis? I look at that and I just don't love it. I really don't love it. I could play Harwood Bellis, I could play Winks. It's gonna have to be Harwood Bellis, isn't it? Harwood Bellis over Winks, but I mean, it's okay. The fixture is okay for Harwood Bellis. Forest did very little against... Who did they play? Bournemouth. So that's an option. I don't know. I'm going to have to figure it out later in the stream. I'll let the news absorb. Sorry, I just feel like I'm sighing. Right, there is a link on the Spurs website. Maybe that will give us a time frame. No time frame. Like, for him to be out... Like, if he's out of this game, are they really going to rush him back for game week 3? Newcastle away though. Let me know in the chat what you're doing. If you're a Solanke owner, just let me know in the chat. Are you keeping him or are you selling him? Some are keeping. Sell straight to my knees. I just don't know because I've got Smith Rowe. I'm just not that excited about doubling up on the Fulham attack. Like, it would be triple Fulham because I've got Robinson as well, haven't I? Do I want triple Fulham? I don't know. I don't think I do. I don't know who I want. There's a lot of mixed ideas in the chat. I don't know what to do. At this point, I don't know what to do. Luckily, we've still got like 22 and a half hours until the deadline. But at the moment, I'm completely lost with what to do. I'm just disappointed. That's my overwhelming. I am tempted to do -8. Lost Aussie says have a beer. Oh, I'm having a beer. Maybe that's it. Can I take a -8 in game week 2? Chanel says your only option is to wildcard. It's too early to wildcard. I like my team. That's the problem. I just don't know. At least Porro's fine if you're a Porro owner. That's one piece of good news. But yeah, at the minute, I've no idea. No idea what to do. I am tempted to take a -4. Let's go back and have a look at the predicted points for forwards on the hub. Because I do think they're useful to look at, if in doubt. So there are options. It doesn't help that I'm streaming as well. I've got too much stuff going on to actually concentrate. So predicted points for forwards over the next 4 game weeks. Haaland and Isak have got them already. Then it's Watkins, Havertz, Muniz. Mateta's up there, but we know that he wants to move away. I'm not interested in Jackson. I'm not interested in João Pedro. I'm not interested in Wissa. People are saying Richarlison. I don't trust Richarlison either. But I could get Havertz. I could get Havertz and Matoma. That's one option. I know, I could get Muniz and Matoma. I'm not buying Chris Wood. Absolutely not. That's not happening. If you want to get your recommended transfers, you can get them on Fantasy Football Hub right now with 50% off. And the link for that is in the chat. I'll pin it as well. But yeah, if you want to know your recommended transfers, go and check that out on the hub. It's just if I do that, I've then got triple Fulham. I know the fixtures are there, but triple Fulham, it's just not that exciting, is it? If I hadn't have moved early on Robinson, I could have bought Porro. I am going to try and get back focused on these press conferences, guys, because there are 5 coming up now. We've got 4. Brentford, Palace, Fulham and West Ham. So potentially more pain on the way. It's basically just a disaster at this point. Like, how can things go so wrong so quickly? I still can't see any return to play times for Solanke, which is annoying as well, because I think just the fact that the international break has been mentioned in Postecoglou's comments suggests to me that it's probably going to miss the next 2. I don't know that for sure. I'm just reading between the lines, but I do this press conference stream every single week, so you do get to know kind of what managers are saying and what managers are meaning. There is kind of like a middle ground. While we're waiting for these 1:30 press conferences, then make sure you've hit the like button and you've subscribed to the channel as well. Birdie says in the chat, Solanke is going to drop in price so fast now, which is true. VJ says triple Fulham, are you sure? Light Race said it's already carnage. Hopefully it's not just me that's lost the plot. Let's get the stream up. I reckon there's 1,888 of you in here. There's no way that you're all subscribed. So if you're not subscribed already, hit the subscribe button and like the stream as well. We've never had 1,000 likes on a stream. So it's definitely a record-breaking stream, thanks to Solanke. So it's not all bad. But let's see what we're at with all of that. Right, I'm going to move back over to the tweet deck because we are waiting for news of the press conferences from 1:30, and there are going to be some significant ones in here as well that we need to keep an eye on, as well as the Solanke news, of course. At the moment, I'm still in a bit of disbelief about Solanke. I'll have a good look at it before the end of the stream, that's for sure, how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to kind of keep a focus now on... David says hit the wildcard button. Oh, I can't. I don't think I can do that to myself. It's too early. The transfer window's open for another week yet. Muniz is the obvious replacement, but that would be triple Fulham for me. And as much as I like Fulham's fixtures, triple Fulham is not where I want to be 2 weeks into the season. Peter says, has the Spurs press conferences happened? Yes. Solanke is out of the Everton game with an ankle issue that isn't thought to be serious. Porro, Richarlison and Basuma are available. Benton Kerr is a concussion issue as well. I'm still absorbing the information. I can't believe it. Like, I've started the season with Barco, who's gone. Kwanzaa, who's lost his place. Solanke, now injured. But I feel like I've got so many solid picks in my side. Let's just put a grenade into FPL that has. Solanke to Muniz for a -4 does not whet my appetite. I think I'd rather play Harwood Bellis. Solanke out and someone else out for a -8. Sorry, I just moved my mic, so apologies if that's blowing your ears off. Solanke and someone else out for a -8. It's a little bit tempting. Wild card. A little bit tempting. If only we could have... Do you know what would have been perfect in FPL this season? If we could have started the season with 5 free transfers. Keith's just done a -8 in the chat. Peter says his Muniz on penalties. I believe it's Andreas Pereira, who looked like the best asset. I just don't think I can go triple Fulham. But I don't know if I want to take a -8 either. But then I don't want a wild card. Does anyone else feel stressed, or is it just me? It's definitely the craziest press conference stream we've ever had. Let me put my team up on screen again. This is the team. So if I've got Harwood Bellis on my bench. I don't know. Wilson Odobert will be available for Spurs against Everton. I feel like Spurs could absolutely smash Everton. Just not Solanke. We've had a super chat in from T1BB. It's actually his second one of the stream. VJ Sailors less than half have liked. I can drop Odegaard and Solanke and get Jota and Kai. Yeah, get it done. That seems easy. Easy move. I think what I need to get into my head is the -4 Kwanzaa to Robinson Well, not the -4 quantity Robinson. That move is gone now. So now I just need to assess my team for this week and going forward. We're at 650 likes. We can definitely get it to 1,000. Like and subscribe if you haven't done so. Show your support for the channel. I'm here every week. We might even make it to 34,000 subscribers on this stream at this rate. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed, please do. It looks like Bournemouth are looking to sign Kepa. That is the latest news. How do you feel about that? Has anyone gone with Neto? Because you may be shopping for a new goalkeeper. Oh, I can't believe the Solanke thing. Every time something pops up on my feed, I'm like, oh no. Solanke again. He looked like such a good pick. Like, the whole of my squad was built around Solanke. What to do with my team? That's the question now. I could just leave it like that and play Harwood Bellis. Probably what I ought to do is look at my team for next week. So next week, if Solanke is still out, I can transfer him out still. Or, if no other issues crop up, I could swap him for Mooney's again. Again, not that appealing, going triple Fulham. Harry says if you wait a week, Watkins looks nice. That is true, but I'm a long way off getting Watkins. Britain, thanks for the super chat. Richarlison in, Solanke out. Fingers crossed, just do it. Solanke will drop like a stone, pick him back up after the break. I just don't know if I trust Richarlison. I mean, it's on, isn't it? If he starts. 3 o'clock game, though. We could get a leak. I think it's just going to be important going into tomorrow with options. I could do that, though. I'm definitely going to have to sleep on it. I don't... Unless the price changes look brutal, I don't think I'm going to be able to make a decision on it today. We'll see, though. This is a interesting one, just that I've popped up on the tweet deck from a Spurs account saying Dominic Solanke's first Spurs goal at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium will have to be against Arsenal. That clash in game week 4. Like, that's the one that they need him back for, really, isn't it? I mean, ideally, they want him back for Newcastle. Well, that looks ambitious. If he's going to miss 2 games. But then this from Jay Harris, who's the Spurs journalist for The Athletic. Richarlison lower on match sharpness after not playing a single minute during pre-season and only coming off the best bench against Leicester, but Postecoglou says he has trained for 2 weeks and ready to go. So maybe Solanke does get the... Sorry, maybe Richarlison does get the minutes. Maybe it's worth a punt. Let me know in the chat who you think is going to get the minutes. Who's going to start? Is it going to be Richarlison? Is it going to be Kulusevski? What do you think? I mean, if we get a leak on who's going to start, which isn't out of the question, it's very mixed. Lots of Kulu love. Built by Gaggins, Burner and Kulu. Kulu. Cooley did very well in pre-season. I think it was 3 goals, 3 assists. VJ, Son up top, Bergvall on the wing. There's just too many options. That's the problem. There's too much uncertainty. I don't think you can go Richarlison. We have reached 2,000 viewers though on the stream, which is absolutely phenomenal, guys, and definitely a record. I've never had this many people watching, so thank you for enjoying my turmoil of what to do with Richarlison. Why are people saying Werner? He's not even a Spurs player anymore. People looking at the wild card at this point. Which, yeah, it just goes to show. I mean, Mooney's is the most kind of natural replacement, but I've got 2 Fulham players already. Bishara says Xerxes, but the fixtures are awful. The fixtures are awful for United. David said you have a meltdown and just push the viewers up. Oh, Werner rejoined on lane. I must have missed that. Sorry, guys. I think I have lost the plot at this point. We've still got more press conferences to go as well. So we've heard from Pep. That felt like a long time ago. I don't know how long ago it was. I don't know how long into the stream I am. Probably about an hour and a half. So we've heard from Pep. We've heard from Maresca. We've heard from Postecoglou, Gary O'Neill. Irola. So we're still waiting to hear from Thomas Frank, Glasner, Marco Silva. We're still waiting to hear from West Ham. I don't think I've seen any updates from those 1:30 press conferences yet. And at 2 o'clock, we'll hear from Unai Emery as well. Lost Aussie is on his 2nd beer. I probably need to join you. At first, I need to decide what. Just talked over the transition there. Yeah, a few asking for the hub best wildcard team for this week. I mean, I'm not ruling it out. Hang on. The trouble with the hub best wildcard team is they've gone. It's no Haaland, and I'm not prepared to go there. Probably be able to find a Haaland one though. I can ask the question and see what they come up with. I don't think a wild card in game week 2 to avoid a -8 is sensible. Oh yeah, we've had the Bournemouth press conference. Mark's asking for Aina news. I think he's meant to be recovering, so it should be fine apparently. Yeah, we're still waiting for the other press conferences going on at this time though as well. Everything seems quiet on the tweet deck. I'm just going to give it a refresh. Vishal says make a wildcard team. Oh, I don't know if I can do that. Thing is, if I made I think I'd find if I made a wildcard team, I wouldn't like it. Or I wouldn't like the amount of changes from just how my team is at the moment. Akbar says thoughts on DCL as the Solanke replacements. But Everton look awful, so I wouldn't go there. I don't think you can go there. Let's answer a few more questions. Bruno Hall against Brighton, says Dixon season. Yeah, the thing is with Xerxes, I'm not even sure if he starts. I think he will start long term, but I don't know if he'll start this week. I need to join Lost Aussie, I think. Lauren, anything on Minter? Play him. Yeah, Minter should start. I think it was just a bit of a misunderstanding. Light race, G&T and a -8. That sounds brilliant at the moment. Stephen, start Woodor and Kunku. Would. Medic and Kulu will play in place of Solanke. Play pre-season was awesome. Yeah, I don't know if Richarlison starts. I need to just have a think about it. I mean, I will look at a wildcard team. I'll just try it on for size, let's say. But I don't want to miss the 1:30 pressers that haven't happened yet, even though it's 1:45. This is what I meant earlier, guys, when I said, you can't rely on these pressers happening at a certain time because they always get delayed and move about. I mean, I could just do Moonies. There's panic going on in the chat. If you're panicking, I'm with you. I'm with you with this panic. It's just so frustrating. I mean, I am one of the managers that started the season with Barco, Kwanzaa and Solanke, and I'm not the only one. I feel like there's a lot of sighing going on, guys, and do apologise. Let me know in the chat if you're not enjoying the sighing. I'll try and cut it out a bit. It's just... This is FPL. I do question my life choices sometimes. Blues fan looking at going Solanke to Moonies, extra 1.5 allows me to get Eze in for a 5.5. Would be a hit, but I scored 94. Maybe injury allows me to fix the Eze miss. Yeah, Eze looked great. Week 2, second beer. Yeah. I don't know. I think... shall we have a look at a wildcard team? Let's have a look at one. I've still got my eye on the press conferences as well, guys, if they come in, so don't worry. I mean, most of my team I love. Very happy with Pope. Very happy with Trent and Vardiol. Happy with Eze. Happy with Saka, but Saka could be a Havertz. Happy with Haaland and Isak. Like, I think if I was to change things up, I would go Havertz over Saka. Just because he's nearly 2 million cheaper. And I think they'll be quite well matched. Where do you go from Spurs? Because I'd love to own Maddison. I don't even know why I'm doing this to myself. So I feel like I'm just going to want it. Just that there's not a lot that I'd fundamentally change about my team. So then you think, well, an early wild card is probably just a little rash. I like my team. Like, could I fit Son in? Or can Maddison just cover Son? I'd love to own one of them. I think they're the ones that are nailed. But then Maddison looked great playing with Solanke. And if Solanke's out, then I think it's Son that benefits, not Maddison. The fixtures are hard for Spurs after the Everton game. Like, the next two after that aren't that great. The trouble is I can't even afford that without making a downgrade somewhere, and there's nowhere I can downgrade. Like, I'm 0.6 off that. But like, this is the trouble, because like, what? I don't know what else I'd do. Because if I can't get to Son, which I can't, I know I can't get to Son. I could buy Maddison, but I'm not going to wildcard to make those two changes. I don't even know if Maddison's the one I want. know what else it allows me to do either. The Havertz price rise is so annoying. I mean, I could get Porro. Porro I do like. But again, I'm not fundamentally changing a lot of my squad. So there's no, I just don't feel like there's any point wildcarding. I'm not against taking a -8. I don't want to do Solanke to Muniz for a -4. Because I just don't want to be tripled up on Fulham. The fixtures are good. It's just not great to be tripled up on Fulham. And then the only other forward I want is Havertz. So I could get Havertz. But if I wanted to get Havertz, I'd sell Saka. Or I could take that spot right down. And then I get a different midfielder. I could do that. There's a -8 though to swap Solanke for Maddison. I could just play Harwood Bellis this week and see what the Solanke news is next week. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about it some more. I'm sure you're coming up with lots of good suggestions, guys. We're nearly at 800 likes, which is phenomenal. We definitely need to get to 1,000 likes. And you definitely need to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Right, we have had updates while I've been chatting away, thinking of what transfers to make from the press conferences. Harry's asked, was there any update on Walker? I didn't see any update, Harry, but they did say that there was embargoed quotes. Killer Rat says, what a minus, what's happened? Have you only just joined us, John? Well, you've missed a lot. A hell of a lot. Solanke's out of the Everton game. That is the news. And then these are the updates that we've got from Brentford just now. Now, we've had updates from Fulham as well while I've been chatting. So, from Fulham, Burge may have to wait until midweek to make his full debut. This is the other thing, this midweek League Cup games, second round. He could, so this is on Tony. He could be selected tomorrow or maybe not. He could be here after the 30th. He could not be. It's all up in the air. Tony's still a sell, guys. Rico Lewis closing in on return from ACL. I think he did that game week 3 last season. That's good to see him back. Yeah, the rise for Havertz has screwed a lot of people over. So we've had the Brentford press conference and the... Have we had the Palace presser? Have I just missed that? I don't know. We've had the Fulham presser now. Not seen West Ham. So still waiting on West Ham and Aston Villa. So I'm going to be here a little longer yet. Yeah, Solanke out. We've had the Bournemouth presser. I've not seen the Palace presser. So I think it's Palace, West Ham and Aston Villa that we're waiting on. Hopefully not more chaos, but we literally don't know at this point. Anything could happen. That Solanke news has just torn everything apart. Here's Palace. Anderson and Ayew won't be available as they have finalised moves away from the club. Hughes and Frank are sidelined. Marco Silva said we're going to sign a forward player. That's enough to put me off Muniz. I think Muniz will be first choice if he can stay fit, but it's obvious that Fulham need to, you know, get some cover in those attacking spots. I can't buy Muniz. I'm definitely not going to do Solanke to Muniz. If anyone sees me trying to make that move before the deadline. I think Muniz will be fine for a while, but his fitness record hasn't been great. He's prone to an early sub. Yeah, there's a few banging the drum on Armstrong. I don't love it. Just makes it so much more difficult that the window's still open. Like, there's just so many pitfalls still. We'll get there though. There's just so many moving parts still. Jackson, I'm not interested in Jackson. I'm not going anywhere near Chelsea. Mateta, again trying to look for a move. I've got Eze already. Danny Welbeck. Danny Welbeck is the least sexy FPL pick you're ever going to get. Ferguson's on his way back, and then it's like you've got João Pedro, Welbeck and Ferguson all competing for the same place. Fulkrug, Vardy. I feel like at this point, John, I'm not going Chris Wood. They're trying to sign Nketiah. Like, I feel like every forward in the game's just getting a mention in the chat. Shall we just go through all the forwards on FPL? I think I need to make this screen bigger. Hang on, give me 1 second. Try not to break it. Right, forwards. Price. That'll do. Right, these are all the forwards in FPL. I do feel like selling Solanke is the right thing because I think he's going to play. I think he's going to be out for 2 weeks. Right, Watkins. Watkins is an option. I say he's an option. I don't know how I get Watkins in my team, but Watkins is an option. To get Watkins, I have to find 1.5 million from somewhere. That is the problem with Watkins. How am I going to get that 1.5 million? I couldn't tell you. So for that reason, I don't think it's going to be Watkins. Trent out, Saka out. I'm not prepared to rip up my team for Watkins. That's the problem. Sorry, we've had a super chat in from TSH. Solanke and Salah to Haaland and Rodgers. Yeah, I think you can get that one done. Killer Rat says Saka to Odegaard, Solanke to Watkins. Odegaard provided very little though, this is the problem. Right, Saka got a goal and an assist. An XG of 0.35 and an XA of 0.37. Like, it wasn't... And then you look at Odegaard, he was just nowhere close. It wasn't even a contest. If you go in Arsenal, I guess the question is, do you not go Arsenal? Then use Solanke. use Saka as the cash cow to get Watkins. I don't want to go Saka to Watkins though for a -8. Obviously you don't have to buy Odegaard. Right, who else have we got then? So we're ruling out Watkins because I can't get to him. Havertz I like. So I could go Havertz. I would then have to sell Saka. For a midfielder priced under 9.4 million. Which I could do. I don't know if I'd be right at the top of that budget. You see, the Havertz rise. Like, if Havertz hasn't risen, you could have brought De Bruyne or Foden. Like, I'd probably be going down to that Gordon Maddison price point. Do I want to take a -8 to get rid of Solanke and Saka to buy Havertz and Maddison? When I could just start Harwood Bellis at home to Forest, who could keep a clean sheet. It's just the fact that I know that Solanke is going to be out again next week. Again, I don't love it. So then we look at the cheaper options. Jackson, not interested in Chelsea. Mateta, I've got Eze. Mateta's potentially could move, not interested. Tony could move, not interested. Darwin, definitely not. Gakpo, no. Hoyland, no. Xerxes. Xerxes an option. But, well, you can't even see the fixtures, guys, can you? Does he start? Does Xerxes start against Brighton? I don't know. So, I don't want Xerxes. Richarlison, does he start? Don't know. Full Krug. I don't think I've seen enough yet. Gabriel Jesus, no. Kuna, no. Terrible fixtures. Lukaku, no. Nketiah, no. Duran, no. Then we get to Evanilson. Could start. Unproven. Not great fixtures. Not really interested. Rissa, again, horrible fixtures. Not interested. Calvert-Lewin, Everton look terrible. Muniz, I don't want triple Fulham. Awaniyi, Wood, minutes again. João Pedro. You're at the João Pedro Welbeck territory before you know it. Like, I could get Welbeck. Or João Pedro. But I don't know which one to buy, and that again puts me off. Brozier's moving to Ipswich. Oh gosh, it's just terrible beyond that point. Then you're looking at Jamie Vardy. I can't buy Vardy. I just can't do it to myself. Adam Armstrong has got nice fixtures. Underlying numbers were good against Newcastle, but it's hard to judge because of the red card in that game. Sorry, I'm thinking as I go. We've still not beat last week's like target, by the way, guys, which is 850. We need to get that to 1,000. So the options are a Brighton forward, Muniz, Watkins, Havertz. And that's about it. Alright, hold him. So I could do Saka to Maddison, Solanke to Havertz. I stay invested in Arsenal. I stay invested in Spurs. That's an option. I don't know if Maddison is the one, but it's an option. super chat in from Hattrick, who says, no Fulham, just do Solanke to Muniz. Yeah, I think that's fine. I've got 3 Fulham, which is why I don't love it as much. Dom for a Dom. Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Akbar says, Odegaard and Solanke out for Jota and Havertz, worth a hit, Holly. Yeah. Yeah, I'm still a bit stuck. I'm going to have to keep thinking about it. We'll come back to it, my team. Let's have a look what else has been going on in the press as well. I've been chatting again. I've lost the tab now. I know you can see it. I don't know if I can see it. So I think I've still not seen the Crystal Palace press conference. I know, maybe I have. Here it is. It was that one, wasn't it? Franca sideline. Will Hughes still struggling with illness. So we've had that one. We've seen the Brentford presser. So it could just be Aston Villa now, which would be the last one. Let me just check. Bournemouth we've done, Brentford we've done, Palace we've done, Fulham we've done. Oh, West Ham. Let me know in the chat if you've seen anything from the West Ham press conference, by the way. Because I don't think I have. You would imagine it'd be going. I'm just going to have a look on the West Ham website to see if there's any evidence of it. And then a Villa press conference should be going on now as well. Team news. Oh, maybe it was yesterday. Was it yesterday? Maybe it was yesterday then. Maybe I've got those times wrong. I don't think it was yet, unless it snuck in yesterday. Yeah, it looks like it probably was yesterday. So it's just Aston Villa then. Press conference to go. We've had another super chat in, this time from JJ Junkery. Got Smith Rowe, Robinson, Muniz, and Kunku. Who plays? I'd play the triple Fulham. Latest training pictures. Yeah, so I don't think Unai Emery's press conference has started yet. So we should get updates on X shortly on that one. So that's the only one we're waiting for. So I guess what I really need to do is just think about what transfer I'm going to make. If you think you've got a good idea for what transfer I should make, let me know. Because at the moment, I'm a little bit torn. I don't have to make a transfer though. That's important to note. Sorry, I'm not going to put my team on this tab because it's just not set up right. I don't have to make a transfer is the important thing. I could just play Harwood Bellis. That's one option that I have got available to me that I need to keep bearing in mind when I'm deciding on my moves. Logically, Muniz is the one to go for, but I just don't want two Fulham attackers and a triple up on Fulham in general. That's my problem. So this would be my team if I just roll the transfer. I've only got one substitute as well at this point. Because Barco's gone, Solanke's out. Winks is my only player to come in at this point. So I do think that I probably ought to make a transfer for a -4. Neil says I should roll. Digital, better to get 2 points than a minus, worst case. Can I roll this team? I mean, all of my defenders are at home. Lots of you saying don't make a transfer. I think it's the fact that if I make a transfer, then I'll probably make a -8. I could go. I have got options of where I could go. Like I could go Mooney's. I don't want to really, but I could. I could go with the Brightons forward. João Pedro or Welbeck. Is there any love in the chat for João Pedro or Welbeck? I don't think the fixtures are that bad. Because there's 3 home in the next 4. So Ipswich and Forest come 4 and 5. Maybe I don't need to stay invested in Spurs. Any love for João Pedro or Welbeck? Not a lot. Very mixed. Short-term Welbeck. I think if I was to buy one, it probably would be Welbeck. Did anyone see my Form V fixtures video earlier in the week? Because Brighton were top of the Form V fixture charts. It's not easy, this. There is Adam Armstrong as well. Is it that bad, though, that I'm looking between Welbeck and Adam Armstrong? I think Welbeck could be an option. Can I buy Welbeck? Let me know what you think to the Welbeck shout. I mean, I think what I will say is that it's unlikely that I'm going to make a transfer tonight. I'll probably wait till the morning. I think I need to sleep on it. Unai Emery is in, finally. What do we think? There's a bit of love for Welbeck in the chat. Killer Rat says sleep on it. Marcus says 40% of games. Digital Mayhem says self-inflicted wound. Thank you. Neil would avoid Welbeck. Al says how long is Solanke out for? We don't know. Definitely this week. Whether it's longer term than that, we don't know. It's not a serious issue, but the international break was mentioned, which means it's probably not that positive for next week. Lost Aussie says sleep on it. Aina, Kwanzaa and Solanke on my bench. I think Aina will get minutes, so I think you'll be okay there. Solanke to Muniz, roll a transfer. Yeah, it's a difficult one. Yeah, this is the thing that John's just written in the chat. Postecoglou hinted that the international break would be needed for Solanke to rest. That's significant. But it's whether you just bench him this week and then sell him next week, but then his price is going to go down. It's like there's price changes are so brutal as well. I think if you've not got loads of Fulham, then it's fine just to buy Muniz. Marcus says triple Fulham isn't as bad as you think. They've got the fixtures for it, to be fair to them, Fulham. But I don't mind Welbeck. Leicester, Ipswich, West Ham, Newcastle, Forest. VJ says only half of like the stream. A great opportunity to get Holly to her record likes in one stream. We need 200 more likes. Come on, guys. While we're waiting for this filler presser, get that like button hit. There's still 1,500 of you in. You cannot all have liked it. We need to get to 1,000. I think, have we had 1,000 before, VJ? Let me know. I think we might have done. Maybe we haven't. I don't know. I'm struggling to see. We've definitely had a record for the number of views on the stream, but likes, I don't think so. Light Ray says, I don't think Solanke will drop till after the deadline. No. Oh, we've done over 1,000. There we go then, guys. So help me out. Let's have another record. We're up to 955. Let's keep it going. Let's get it at least to 1,000. I'm trying to find what the record is. But I'm having to scroll way back. I think it was probably from about this time last season that maybe we got higher than that. Oh, I've had a super thanks in from FinCats Academy. Thank you. Killer says, I'm sure we looked last week. Yeah, I'm sure we did as well. But again, it's just gone straight out of my head again now already. Last week was a long time ago. I've slept since then. We could be working our way up there now, though. 981. Let's keep it going while we're waiting for this final press conference to come in. I'll be buzzing with 1,000. I don't know if we have beaten 1,000, so it could be a record if we get there. Have we got there already? 982. Who's there watching? It's like, oh no, I'm not gonna like it. You've got to help me out. I think it could be a record if we get there. Is someone unliked? There's never been 1,000 likes, says Light Rays. Come on then. Who's not liked it? I might need to check that I've liked it. Thank you, Fanatics, for the super chat. 994. Oh, we've done it. Thank you, guys. Incredible. So we've had a record 2,000 viewers at one time, and we've hit 1,000 likes. It's just sensational. So thank you so much. We've also had quite a lot of new subscribers on this stream. So that means, I tell you what, if I get to 34,000 subscribers on this stream, which is doable, then I'll give away some channel memberships. Oh, Killer Rat's just given away 10 memberships. Thank you so much, Killer Rat. If you've got one of those, they've gone to FPL, Stain, Aiden, Emil, Chi, David, Twisted Sparky, DJ Tone, George Bassar, and Brick Large. Annie's in with a super chat, and G Ali. Thank you so much to Killer Rat for the gifted memberships, and thank you for the super chat from Bickarge Annie. Yeah, so if we get to, I can't even get this on the right tab at the moment, so this is going well, isn't it? I was going to say, if we get to 34,000 subscribers on this stream today, then I'll give away some memberships. So we've got 250 to go, but there'll be plenty of you watching at the moment that haven't subscribed to the channel already. While we're waiting for that to tick up, I'm still keeping my eye on the press conferences from today as well, because we're still waiting to hear from Unai Emery. I think there's been some chat about some contract negotiations going on for him, and the team news in from Villa, which just popped up and has now disappeared again. It's under this Burnley thread. We don't want to know about Burnley now. Unchanged squad against Arsenal. Kamara's progressing a lot. I think that's 6 months since he was injured and had surgery. Mings is close to a start. So that is the last of the team news. So we now have a full complement of information, which is good news. So what we're going to do now is look through all the information from the stream today, all of the news from the press conferences. Hopefully I've linked them all, but while we're waiting, while I'm going through it all, keep hitting that subscribe button and keep chatting in the chat, because once I've done this, if we get to 34,000, then I will give away some channel memberships at the end of the stream as well. So let's give this a refresh so we can review all what's been going on, because it has been an eventful one. Aston Villa are unchanged for the Arsenal game. Anderson and Ayew have left Palace. Franca is sidelined, but Will Hughes is also struggling with illness. Silva has said that Fulham are looking to sign another forward. Rico Henry is close for Brentford. Tony could or could not play. Berge will have to maybe need to wait till midweek to make his debut for Fulham. Bournemouth are trying to sign Kepa. Odebert is available for Spurs. Katsu says, is it too soon to use a free hit chip? Yeah, I think so. When we don't know what that mystery chip is, it just makes it more difficult. Akshat's gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, Akshat. Tom O'Connell, FPL Menace, Sashin Norris, and Nikos were the lucky ones this time. Remember, if you're active in the chat, then I think when I do a little membership buy at the end of the stream, then you're going to be more likely to get them as well. But we do need to try and get to 34,000 subscribers, and at the minute we're a bit of a way off. Then this was the big news. Dominic Solanke is out of the Everton game after picking up a knock on Monday night. It's not serious, but Postecoglou does mention the international break. No time frame. However, this suggests that it's not just going to be this week. It looks potentially like it's game week 2 and 3, which means that if you haven't used a free transfer, then I think Solanke is a sell. There's been a request for a poll on Solanke hold or sell, so let's bin off the captain poll. That's the least of our problems now. So, Solanke, what to do with Solanke? I think it just becomes more problematic if you've already used a transfer. Remember, I still need another 200 subscribers, and then I'll give away some memberships at the end of the stream. Just looking at the early results of the poll, 69% sell, 70% sell. At Bournemouth, Senesi is available after missing game week 1 due to illness. There was no update on Max Aarons, who was also absent. I forgot from the Spurs press conference as well. Porro is fine. Richarlison's ready to go. So that's all in there as well. I probably ought to put the breaking news tab back up while I'm doing this as well. There we go. Pedro Neto may not play against Wolves. João Felix could feature. No issues at Wolves. Kuna is fine and available for more minutes. Traore has done more training. João Felix, I'll get to know him better with Mudryk. Evanilson has trained and will be available for Bournemouth. Sanchez is the #1 goalkeeper for Chelsea. Rodri not in training for Man City, unlikely to be available against Ipswich. Savino feels better after a disturbance in his knee. A decision will be taken closer to kick-off on him. Guardiola on Gundogan, already knowing the playing style. If tomorrow has to play, okay, he knows everything. Wolves, Semedo played for the under-21s today. So we don't know about his availability for Sunday. Guimaraes is a new skipper for Newcastle. Trippier could be moving away. Bad news that Kwanzaa is not involved in Liverpool training. A doubt for Sunday. Let's see if he can train today. Matt Targett's returned to the matchday squad for Newcastle as well. So there's options in the fullback slot. Right, I'll go through yesterday's news in a second. Let's see how close we are. We still need another 216 new subscribers. It's ticking up. Come on, guys. If you're watching and you're not subscribed, hit that button. Check that you're subscribed if you haven't done so already. I'm guessing that about half of you that are watching now are not subscribed at the minute. Yeah, so that was the Solanke rumour. It's now been confirmed. Concerns over Palmer, who hobbled off last night. Hopefully not too serious. Everton squad is stretched. Tarkowski added to the injury list along with Branthwaite means that they're going to be a skeleton squad v Spurs. Not that I've got any Spurs. Elanga and Aina hoping to shake off their minor knocks for Forest. Moreno is available as a fullback option. Ten Hag confirms that Lindelof has an issue with his toe. Hopefully he can return quickly, but not the weekend. Late call to be made on whether Moreno will start for Forest. Muric, late decision to be made on him for Ipswich. Nothing new for Leicester. And then, yeah, a few little things from the transfer window. Brighton, Ferguson, Lamptey and Purvis are stooping and are all in training. I mean, I could still buy Welbeck or João Pedro. Barco's gone. Forest are looking to sign Nketiah as well. So that's a bit of a round off of everything we've had today. Just check there's nothing new on the tweet deck either, if I can find it again. Yeah, no, we're all right. So, my team. That's the bit I'm struggling with. Where to go with my team and transfers. Like, I could literally go anywhere with it at this point. Jimenez isn't an option, don't worry, guys. Right, this is my team at the moment. So if I bench Solanke and roll the I have made a transfer. I did Kwanzaa to Robinson on Tuesday. If I was to not make any more moves, I could play Harwood Bellis. I've got one substitute in Winks. Killer Rats off going wildcard. I don't love that. I don't look at this team and think that I'm happy with it. In terms of replacements for Solanke, I could go Muniz. Who I think is a good replacement, but it does mean triple Fulham, which I don't love. I'm also looking at João Pedro and Harwood Bellis. So I might set up a little poll. 68% say sell Solanke. So let's start a poll. And the poll is João Pedro or Welbeck. Who do you like out of those two? Someone's asking, is he going to drop in price today? I think it'll probably be too soon to tell. Not at the moment. Right, let's have a look at the AI transfers. Because the recommended transfer is Solanke to Muniz, I think. But I don't know what it says if I say I don't want to sell Muniz. And that's because I've already done it. This is where it helps having a low team ID. I mean, it's basically 50-50 for you guys. So I've already done Kwanzaa to Robinson. But I didn't save it on here. That predicted points hasn't come through for Solanke either yet. So the recommendation if I sell Solanke from AI is to buy Muniz, João Pedro or Wissa. If I was to sell Saka as well, this is what I want to do. Get some recommendations from the AI on transfers. Still debating. I need to just lock in a decision, really. So Solanke to Muniz. If I say don't recommend Muniz, it may recommend me a different transfer. I could also say that I'm willing to sell Saka and see what it spits out. I think this will now say João Pedro. It says Wissa. I mean, am I overlooking Wissa? I prefer Mbermo. This is the thing that I find difficult. Like Wissa, I prefer Mbermo. João Pedro and Welbeck, well, I prefer Mitoma. I feel like I'm in the wrong formation. Right, let's try this. Right, number of transfers. 2. Add filter. Player out, Solanke. Suggestions based on filter. I'm just going to keep clicking this till it says something I like. Like, I'm not against selling Saka. I feel like I'm in the wrong formation now. I much prefer, with Solanke out, I much prefer the 3-5-2. No, I'm not doing that either. At some point the computer's just going to say no to me, isn't it? It's nice to get this information now. You can get this on the hub with 50% off. That's tempting. What I really want to do is get funds out of Saka to upgrade. It's not giving me that option. I do just wonder if I'm in the right formation now. But I don't know if that's something that you can really fix on with two transfers. Yeah, Foden over KDB, I'd have to agree with that. I mean, there's still Watkins. But that would mean selling Saka to get to Watkins, probably. Unless I was to sell Trent, which I don't want to do, or Vardiol. But then I don't know who to get for Saka. I could just go Mooney's. Oh, I don't know if I could do it to myself. Welbeck's just so not a fun pick. Or João Pedro. How many minutes did... So João Pedro got 81 minutes. Welbeck got 90. Goal and an assist. I don't think it's a decision I can make today. I'm going to have to think about it. Definitely sleep on it. I'm just pondering in my mind the best route to take. Shall we just do a little look at what your suggestions are? Get some in from the chat if I can. We'll do some questions for a few minutes, and I will give some memberships as well before I end, because the support's been phenomenal today. I do appreciate that. Make sure you subscribe, guys, and hit the notify button, because that'll let you know when I'm live tomorrow. Lots of suggestions of Calvert-Lewin. Don't think so. Solanke to Havertz for a -4. Don't hate that. What's the other move? Armstrong. Don't trust. Hold. Play Bellis. Sell if there's a price drop. Yeah, don't sell Saka. I don't think I can do. Jamie Vardy, not happening. Armstrong and 2 million in the bank for next week. Twisted Sparky says, don't make a move. Oh, Bonkers LFC is in. Good to see you. Bro, yeah, no, it's really scraping the barrel now. Oh, thank you, VJ. Bonkers LFC says Joe Linton for Palmer. Could work. Killer at pushing, saying Saka to Bowen, Solanke to Havertz. I don't love Bowen, but it is an option for a -8 to sell, to turn Solanke into Havertz and get in a different midfielder. I don't feel like I'm in the right formation. Right, if that was a Maddison or a Matoma. Can't believe I'm going into Spurs Everton with no Spurs player. I can't make that -8. I think I might buy a Brighton player. One of João Pedro or Welbeck. Oh, thank you, John. Thank you for the gifted memberships as well. Yeah, Lost Does, he says sleep on it. I think I am going to sleep on it. I am, in a minute, guys, I am going to gift some memberships. Have I missed a super chat? Or not? Oh, it was John's. Oh, John, you're too kind. Thank you. Thanks for joining. I'm going to sleep on it, I think. I am tempted with one of the Brighton forwards. The question is which one. I can compare them. Let me put this comparison graphic up. Obviously, João Pedro's got the penalties. I was really impressed with Brighton. Everything was Welbeck. I don't know. When Ferguson comes back in, who's going to miss out? Welbeck. I don't know, guys. I'm going to have to sleep on it. Right. I am going to gift some memberships. We've not quite hit 34,000, but the support today has been amazing. So if you are wanting to be in on winning a channel membership, then I think it goes to people that have been super active in the chat. So now is your opportunity to spam the chat if you want one of these memberships. And I'll be back tomorrow with a deadline stream. So make sure while I'm sorting this that you A, spam the chat, but B, make sure you subscribe to the channel as well, because I am going to be live for the deadline tomorrow, where I probably will replace Solanke. I don't know with who yet, but yeah, it's going to happen. Right, let me look at how I gift these memberships. How do I do it? Hang on. There we go. Membership gifting. This is when I realised that I'd forgotten my 3 card numbers. I need to sort out this stream as well, because it was dodgy at the start, wasn't it, the audio? Has that done it? Your gift has been announced. Oh, it didn't even need my 3 card numbers. David's got one. Whiskey's got one. Manic Hyder's got one. Berry Snow has got one. Mwaka. Bikaval. A Specimen Unknown. Vicor. Is that it? Was that the 10? Have we had 10? That seemed to go quick. Oh no, here's another one. Melissa. There we go. Right, thank you so much, guys, for the support on the stream. It's been a 2.5 hour stream. The Solanke news has been huge, but I really appreciate everyone that's watched, that's taken the time to like the stream, subscribe to the channel as well, and make sure that you've hit the notify button, because tomorrow it is going to be the deadline stream where I probably am going to make some sort of transfer. I don't know who yet or what, but yeah, I am going to be making a transfer, potentially replacing Solanke, but I am going to give myself the night to think about it. But thank you for watching, guys. Really appreciate it.